everybody for coming. Go ahead and go through the roll call. Karen,
Here.
Boo,
Here.
JJ,
Hello.
Dr. Davis,
Here.
okay, Dr. Hill, he's not here. Larry,
Here.
Dr. Timmons,
Here.
Jason,
Here.
Dr. Welch,
Present.
Brittany, Bill,
Here.
okay, Angelique,
Here.
Joe,
Here.
Emily, teachers rep,
I'm here.
Patty. Okay, thank y'all very much, appreciate it. Everybody had the minutes, had a chance to read them, are there any changes? There's no changes, they'll stand as presented. Anything on board training, special guest presentation? All right, teachers rep report,
Yes, sir. Hi, I'm Maddie, for those of you who don't know me. I teach the 1st through 3rd grade ELA. So I'm going to start off with the lower report. I'll start off with my class. In January, students underwent middle of year benchmark testing, including the CKLA, that's the Tier 1 curriculum that we utilize for ELA, grade level readiness placement testing to determine whether or not the students were ready to begin grade level content, or if we needed to remediate prerequisite skills first. Of 5 first grade students, 3 are now receiving grade level curriculum, with 2 students engaging in content 1 grade level below. Of 4 second graders, 2 of them are now receiving grade level curriculum, with 2 receiving content 2 grade levels below. And of 15 third graders, we now have 12 receiving grade level curriculum, with 2 students learning content 3 grade levels below, and 1 student learning content only 1 grade level below. So altogether, in comparison from the fall to the spring, in 1st through 3rd grade, in the fall we started off with 8 students that were contacting grade level curriculum every day in small group, and now that number has increased to 17 out of 24. Of the 7 students that didn't increase to grade level, one of those 7 students grew 2 grade levels between the fall and the winter benchmarking. She started off the year in the K grade band and is now working on grade 2 work, unit 1 of grade 2. The other 6 students increased within the same grade level. So we did see growth for everyone, but for 6 students, their growth wasn't enough to go into the next grade level. So Ms. B and I have had multiple conversations about increasing, individualized instruction and changing some tactics for those 6 students.
So that's 6 out of 28 that didn't?
6 out of 24 that did
Out
not.
of 24.
Yes, sir. All of the students will continue to receive individualized instruction, consistent with the CABAS model, to continue to close the gap in their reading repertoire. For anyone who's interested in seeing, I did put a graph in the teacher report, but Ms. Tice was nice enough to print a color-coded graph that I created for all 3 grade bands, just to see those numbers pictorially. Moving on to lower school math, 1st and 2nd grade math has been working on place value and expanded form. Next week, both grades will start using expanded form to learn about regrouping when adding multi-digit numbers. 3rd grade is wrapping up the understanding of multiplication and then moving on to the introduction of division. And for a general update, the lower school students will be celebrating Dr. Seuss Week. If you've ever been down the hall and seen my classroom, it is very Dr. Seuss out, so we're excited. We have fun things planned every day. We have guest speakers and fun. We're gonna have green eggs and 3 green eggs and ham and all the fun things. In middle, the math update is 4th grade math has been working on multiplication with 4-digit and 1-digit factors. This week we moved to larger numbers as the 2nd factor. 5th grade will be adding and subtracting decimals this week and next week. In science, 4th grade is still working on vision and light and understanding how our senses help to keep us safe and help us survive. Fifth grade is understanding that matter is everywhere and is in everything. We will be doing a lab on density this week. The ELA update for middle is fourth grade is beginning unit 2 of CKLA, beginning with the pre-unit assessment process. Fifth grade is finishing unit 1 and will also be moving into unit 2. Social studies, fifth grade is beginning unit 2, Western African Civilizations. Fourth grade is beginning unit 2, chapter 3, which is ancient Egypt, which will conclude unit 2 for them. Their enrichment/PE and health update is that the students are learning about soccer, working on some ball control drills, and still getting some running in. For upper school, the ELA update is that sixth grade is still working through yellow fever, looking at what could cause yellow fever and the experiments to prove it. Seventh is working on brain science and going into the debate section of the unit. Eighth is finishing up Frederick Douglass. They will begin their end of unit essay next week. All grades are constantly working on fluency readings and vocabulary words. The science update, all grades have begun new units. Eighth grade is now working on evolutionary history. Seventh is working on oceans, atmosphere, and climate. And sixth grade is working on magnetic forces. For math, sixth grade is learning about volume. Seventh grade is preparing for a unit 2 test. And eighth grade is working on finding the slope of a line. The general update for upper is that the Max Color Guard placed 3rd in their last competition at East Ascension and will compete again at Gulfport on March the 7th. LumCon is also coming up for the 8th graders on March 19th through the 20th, and they are very excited. And then the special education and intervention update, the lower school SPED/intervention update from Ms. B is that we are continuing to work on different phonics and phonological skills. 3rd graders will begin LEAP test prep, and a specific intervention will address students that have read aloud and if they are paying attention to the read aloud on the computer. So it's super interesting. She doesn't give herself enough credit. She does a listening protocol. So we used together, she and I, really talked about this a lot, and she does an amazing job implementing it. She uses a protocol derived from CABAS to teach active listening and to make sure that students are following along and that they're able to better engage with their testing materials. Middle and upper school SPED update. We have been working in 4th and 5th grade on increasing our phonics skills through the Maloney method. For upper school, they have been working on increasing skills towards the LEAP test and test-taking strategies to help them do better on the LEAP. That concludes the teacher update.
Excellent. Yeah. Any questions? Any comments? Well, thank you very, very much. Well done.
Thank you.
Good one. Okay.
Thank you.
You get it.
All right, next thing on the
I do.
agenda. Financial report.
Okay, thank you guys for coming. If you had a chance to review the financial information,
Thank you.
I would report that our revenues and expenditures are pretty much on a par with how they've been for the last couple of years. We didn't, I'm just looking at my numbers to talk about, our revenues were a little higher. We had a couple, I think one of those donations covered our Christmas party that most of you were able to come to. I was happy to see most of you there. But other than that, I don't have anything significant going on that is outstanding or other than everything looks good on my end. Some of the things that I've been working on the past month, Act 370, I think I had mentioned that to you guys on a couple occasions before. Act 370 is the required reporting from school districts, and not just school districts, all sorts of government entities, but and it's basically taking our budget information, our expenditure information, our contract information, rolling it up onto beautiful spreadsheets and submitting it to the Treasury Department. I'm just about done. I was working on that for the last couple of weeks after the Mardi Gras break. Those submissions are due next Monday, I believe, or Tuesday. Began working on the budget prep for next year, which is scary to think about, but because we aren't even close to finish this year, but just preliminary beginnings. Today and tomorrow, LAPCS put on a winter spring bottom line event, which is I just attended virtually. I didn't attend in person, but it's a full day and a half of best practices, fraud prevention, what not to do, lots of examples of what not to do lately. So that's what I kind of listened to all day, in addition to trying to get some of this work done. And really, other than that, pretty straightforward and routine tasks for most of this month. I do have a copy. I didn't have that on my report, but each year when the audit is complete, Laporte asks if I would like binded copies or electronic, and I keep asking for electronic, but they keep sending me binded copies. So, so I would please beg each of you to take a copy of our audit of financial statements and the agreed upon procedures addendum that comes with that for each year. So before you leave, I'd love if you guys would take one of these. No significant findings. I think I reported that in one of the prior meetings. Everything seems to be going well. And then I don't know if do action items come a little later, or I'll talk really quickly. I'm not sure when we have to ask to approve, but same as last year and the year before, the state allots a differentiated compensation amount of money to schools to aid in a few very specific guidelines of how we can use the money. Some of them we fall into the category, some of them we don't have here, but so we have used the funds. It's not that much, $330 something, not that much, a couple of $1,000, but and it fits in our, we're gonna do just like last year, try to give our teachers in leadership positions a stipend for the extra work that they do with Ms. Rodrigue, the leadership team that she has paid out in the next 3 months, stipends to fulfill what the state requires of us. It has to get approved by the board, and it has to get expended in the year in which we receive it. So I'm gonna try to get that out to them in the next few months. And I think it's an action item, and I'm not sure how that works if we have to.
It was in the documentation.
And I did send that to you guys, and I didn't put the guidance in the packet because it was a lot of pages, but I did send it, and I have a copy if you need to take a look at it. So I'd be happy to talk about that with you guys. Unless you have any other questions, that's really all I have for.
No, did everybody have exposure to that?
I sent it a few days back. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, is there any objections to this on anybody's part? If there's no objections, if you need a motion, which you indicated.
We accept the compensation plan.
All right, you're making a motion?
Yes, sir.
All right, who seconds it? JJ seconds it. Any questions? All in favor? Any opposition? Okay, you got it.
Thank you.
I'm glad you clarified what Act 370 was.
Yeah.
For example, I looked at it as, why are we taking the ACT test?
It's hard to write all of the requirements on one piece of paper, but it's pretty standard, and it follows our budget reporting guidelines and things of that nature.
I was thinking about the ACT
ACT
test.
370? Yeah, no.
No.
Good thing. I don't know if I'd pass, but
Okay, anyhow, any other questions on that? No other questions, we go on to the next thing. Consideration of a motion to approve the 26-27 school calendar as presented. Everybody had a chance to look at it.
So moved.
All right, it's been moved by Larry. Is there a second? Please,
Second.
Dr. Hill,
Who
seconded.
seconded?
Any further,
Hill.
any discussions on it? All right, all in favor? Any opposition? Okay, thank you all very much. Presentation, consideration, motion motion to approve requirement of principal ad hoc, position ad hoc committee. We need a motion. Dr. Davis.
Cleve, you want
Well, I'll start, and
Go ahead, Cleve.
I'll be very brief with this, but Ms. Rodriguez informed us earlier this year that the evaluation of school leaders has changed. And basically, part of the change is that her title will change as far as the evaluation system is concerned. It will no longer be just principal, it will be principal/system leader. And so the ad hoc committee met to draft a letter of attestation, which is all the state requires for her position now. And I think you sent everybody a copy of that. And so we
Late
just.
last night, 30%.
It wasn't that long. It wasn't that
About
long.
8 o'clock.
And we try to keep it short and everything like that. But I'll let you take over from there if you wanna explain the letter, Dr. Davis.
Well, we decided that besides just a simple statement to the representatives at state level, they just want to know that she's in good standing, but we decided after discussion to include bullet points so that they understand exactly why she's in good standing. And we were very positive about this, and I think if you look at those bullet points, you will join me in thanking again the principal, system leader for a job well done.
Absolutely.
Beautiful letter.
So do I sign that letter?
Yes,
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
the original?
it's whatever you received it, it has to
I
be
didn't
put on
print it.
stationery.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
if
okay,
we
I
can
didn't
put it
get-
on
okay.
stationery and then you can just sign it.
okay,
I'll give it to you.
we got it.
All right.
Wait, you're not going out of state tomorrow?
What's that?
Are you going out of state tomorrow?
No, not tomorrow.
Okay, because it's like, where in the world is Carmen Miranda? Where in the world is Karen Chauvin?
No, but I'll be in around.
But we do need full board approval on that letter of attestation.
All right, who wants to make the motion to approve it?
Well, the motion can come from the committee, please, if
Yeah.
you wanna do that.
I'll make the motion.
You make the motion. JJ seconds it. Are there any objections?
JJ?
Oh, JJ, sorry.
Are there any objections? You
No.
got it, 100%. That's what you needed?
That's what we needed.
You got it. Okay, and thank you all very much for all of that. Are there anything on grants? Or is there anything on grants?
Nothing new, except that Matthew and I are starting to develop our preliminary technology update for next school year, which the L'Oreal Foundation has been so gracious in the past few years. We are going to upgrade Chromebooks again because it's been 4 years, and I guess in technology, that's a long time. But so we're gonna work on that and get that submitted hopefully by the summer deadline. Other than that, I don't really have anything more specific.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that. Building and sites, that's me. Well, I haven't heard anything from Angelique. so-
I was gonna talk to you after school about another hole that came up in the, in the custodians. I just noticed it today, I think, she wasn't here, but she moved all the furniture around it, so like, oh, there's a reason why she did this.
Okay. Well, I'll get the normal fella over here to look
Thank you.
after it, so, okay? Take care of that. All right, next thing is principal report.
That would be me. Okay, so, just to reiterate, Ms. Woods, our Director of Charter Accountability, has rescheduled her annual site visit and her board presentation for next month. So she'll be on this site during the day, going over, all the different federal programs that she's responsible for monitoring here, and not just the programs like IEPs and grants and EGMS that she does of the business manager side, but also inspections and health inspections that we're keeping up You know, basically it's her eyes, letting everyone in the Claiborne building know that we're doing up and up what we're supposed to be doing. And then she will be here at the 3:30 meeting on that day to give a presentation about our renewal and the procedures and if anything has changed. That's for you guys. Thank you for approving our 26, 27 academic and 12-month calendars. Now we are ready to send that out. We are, Miss Emily has been very gracious and has been working with us. She has secured for us Tulu and the Cheer for a pep rally to kick off our LEAP on
That's really good.
April 15th. I'm sorry, 14th, because our LEAP testing in our building will be from April 15th to May 15th. The window's a little longer, but Easter's right smack there.
Yeah.
So, but that is coming up. I just got all of my books. I'm planning my training for the teachers, getting ready for the LEAP. Excited because we know there's a lot hanging on this LEAP. The 16th annual opera production, I did give you a save the date earlier, but it is April 17th, 18th, and 19th. I just checked my roll. I have 13 individuals. We're all getting measured so that the costumes will fit all of our various bodies. And I had one more thing that I put on here so I wouldn't forget it. Laurel Valley Sugar Mill. If it's possible, if you could hook us up with Laurel Valley Sugar Mill for May 8th. Some of our kids need to do a field trip. We have a lot of field trips in the upper for them to do. LumCon is for 8th grade, but then 6th and 7th have 2 different kinds of field trips that align with stuff that they're learning about, okay? And so one of the things that we wanted to do was getting them in an area, because this is the mainstay of the area. This is the economic powerhouse of our region, and just to get them to understand the thing that they take for granted. With the amount of sugar that they put in their bodies, they need to know how it gets there.
Well, number one, that would normally not be a problem, other than there's no Laurel Valley Sugar Mill.
Well,
that was the name I was given.
they're going to Laurel Valley,
Oh, Sugar Mill.
but the sugar mill, I think maybe you had mentioned once before that you might could figure out how to get us a tour.
No, there is no
Is
more.
none.
Well,
Oh, the actual, okay, what
Is-
is Laurel?
It's
Is
I
there a
was
sugar mill
confused.
around here?
Old plantation.
Laurel Valley Sugar Mill
Okay,
burned down about 20
Okay.
years or maybe 30 years ago.
but the
Is there a sugar mill around that area?
There is a sugar mill,
Mhm.
but bear in mind, none of them's working now.
Mhm.
Grinding's over there.
that's correct. Thank goodness, because I drive a very bad road.
Well, they wouldn't, I don't think they'd let the smaller kids in the mill.
Well, these would be larger kids.
Yeah.
7th grade.
Look, let me work on it.
Yes, sir.
If we can't get it here, would Raceland be too far out?
I don't think so. I don't think so, but I'm not
Let me work
100%
on
sure.
that here. I'll
Okay.
work on
It was
that.
just a question by our science teacher that if
They're
they're
not in operation.
But there's not an operation, and look,
they're going in that.
They're going to the
Laurel
plant.
Valley is a plantation that no one lives on.
But they have tours.
Yes, but the
They
tour is
have-
really
They
good.
have tours.
That's
Tour
already
is
scheduled.
good.
Okay.
They were just looking for another way to fill the day.
That would be
Mhm.
at this stage, the sugar mills are really being torn apart for repair.
Mhm.
So just bear in mind, they're not gonna see anything operating.
Mhm.
You're not grinding cane, you're not boiling cane juice, you're not making sugar. The only thing they can see would possibly be a complete warehouse of sugar.
Mhm.
I don't want them anywhere near a warehouse of sugar.
Gramercy?
That's been closed
That's
a long time.
long time.
There's only 2 refineries, in Gramercy.
Gramercy,
Yeah, they were refining sugar in Gramercy and in Araby, other side of New Orleans.
Yeah.
That's too far.
That's 2 refineries. An impressive thing for the kids to see
Mhm.
is a warehouse of raw sugar.
That would be impressive.
You
I
know,
don't
this-
want him
this
anywhere
new
near
building,
where.
how many people have been in the warehouse of Ross Sugar?
At Layton, one,
Okay, you know the football practice building they built back in Nichols? That great big metal building with open sides, well, just figure a building that big with closed sides, and you go in it, and it's just a
Mountain of sugar?
raw sugar. No bags, no pallets, no sacks, no barrels, just sugar.
when I went to Layton, they told me to bring a Ziploc bag and I got to scoop some
Scoop
of
and
it.
scoop it, yeah, sure.
Made the best oatmeal
Look,
cookies.
let me see what I, let
Yes,
me see
sir.
what I can line up.
Yes, sir. Thank
As far
you.
as the mill is concerned,
It's not it's not functioning right now.
it's not gonna show you sugar being boiled or run through a centrifugal or run down the conveyor or something like that.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
well, let's see what we can do.
Thank you.
Gotcha, next thing.
The CABUS update. So last semester, Dr. Shanman worked with our grade level groups as we started the school year, getting them off, taking the data and pinpointing certain issues, specific student kind of issues that he consulted with to kind of give some feedback on, the game plan that the teachers were making. This semester, he wanted to shake it up, change it a bit to meet teacher needs a little bit better. So he has designed multiple topics that teachers sign up for that they feel they would need more assistance. So for example, one of the groups and I met last Tuesday with him on classroom management because these are 3 of our newer teachers coming in, and they all recognize that they need a little bit more support on that. And engagement hinges on classroom management, learning hinges on a managed environment so that everyone has an opportunity to learn. And he spent an hour with us going over what looked like 3 different issues with the teachers really boil down to one issue. We're going to circle back with him in 3 weeks with the data that has been collected from among those 3 teachers on a specific strategy that they are going to track data on and see how that implementation, their own personal implementation of this strategy improves, and how, if and how, that implementation improves what goes on within their classroom. Okay, so I've already seen today's data on that, but we are going to collect 3 weeks of data and come back to the table with him on that. And there are other topics such as content strategies, using some of these CABUS tactics within the classroom and refining what more veteran teachers might be doing and giving them more tools in their toolbox in terms of conveying the content out and about. So that has shifted a bit. So now we have a mix of grade bands going on with the different topics. It's more of a menu base, for which I'm very grateful. It was a very fruitful session that we had on Tuesday. And transportation, still no other applicant.
Okay. All right. Are there any questions? Any questions? All right. PTA.
Good evening, everyone. The PTA met last night, at which time I reported the single expense that we incurred since the last time we met in December. And I already shared that with you all, which was a payment to $342 for a Christmas meal we provided to our teachers before the holiday break. Going forward, as we move through the second half of the school year, we do anticipate a couple of significant upcoming expenditures. First, our annual Fun in the Sun activity. Last year, the total cost for this event was $1,457, which included inflatables, obstacle course, unlimited snowballs, and other student activities. And so we expect that this year's event is going to be in a similar range, cost-wise. And second, we are planning for a teacher appreciation luncheon with an estimated cost of approximately $400. So in light of these anticipated expenses, during yesterday's meeting, we began brainstorming ways to increase the fund balance. Our discussions focused primarily on partnering with local restaurants that offer give back days, which is a simple and effective way to increase revenue while encouraging community involvement. But Ms. Walker assured me that she is going to explore more possibilities, more partnerships, as well as other fundraising opportunities. And we're in constant contact via text. So as we get information, we're just going to continue to document it. Our next PTA meeting is scheduled for April the 22nd, and that's going to be at 6 o'clock p.m. here.
The total amount of funds you're talking about raising, how much you talking about?
Well, if we limit it, if we just stay on course with the give back days, you're talking maybe about $400 or $500. But hopefully we can come up with some ideas that are going to be a little more, profitable. But again, we brainstorming that right now.
All right.
The fund balance as we speak is $9,840.
Oh, man, you got plenty of money.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Okay, well, good. Anything else on that?
No, sir.
Well, keep it up.
Nice work.
Okay.
Board business?
Any new board business? Well, there's no new board business. Our next meetings are outlined. The next PTA meeting is going to be announced,
Yes,
April
April
22nd.
22nd.
April 22nd. Visit What is that about?
Oh, Miss Woods coming here to give that presentation that she makes every time we have a
Okay.
renewal.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Is there any other business to come in front of the board? Well, somebody must be doing a good job, huh? I don't know who. Well, thank y'all very much. If there's nothing else to come in front of the board, that's it. And thank y'all very much. Evidently.
Here, move.
So usually when everything is going nice and smooth and calm, look around because something's gonna happen.
Oh, you have to say that out loud.
You have a second for
Be
adjournment?
prepared, it always happens.
Okay.
All right, you making a motion to adjourn?
You did.
Oh, you're second.
And I am